Right, welcome ladies and gents. We've got some new information from the Superman test screening that happened. Treat these as rumours right now. We actually don't know. Whenever leaks happen, treat it as a rumour. But they're fun to report on because a lot of this stuff has been completely accurate in the past in terms of leaks and test screening results and things like this. So, you know, that's why I tend to report on it. Because there has been quite a high accuracy rate, to be fair. But basically, there's some key information that has been revealed from the most recent round of Superman test screenings. Hit subscribe if you are a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed. There's about 50% of you that keep watching the channel that aren't, subscribed, and it would really help the channel out. Trying to get to 500,000 subscribers, so if you could, that'd be great. And obviously that shows YouTube that this is a channel worth actually promoting and not shadow banning. So thank you in advance. But let's take a look at this, shall we? So this is, again, this might not be new news to everyone, right? I understand that. This is like 2 days old, but it's still worth covering because some people may not have seen it. Some people may not have heard of this. Now, if you don't want any spoilers at all, don't watch this. But I think a lot of this is seemingly like pretty common knowledge, what you could sort of disseminate from the trailer in terms of surprise villains, right? So just, it's not a major spoiler. I don't think it would be a major spoiler, but if you don't want any at all, just don't watch the video, obviously. So it says here, look, initial word from the first internal screenings of Superman was not especially positive, but reports from more recent test screenings of James Gunn's DCU reboot definitely sound more optimistic. They do, but then there has been some other people that have said that they didn't like it. Now, lots of people instantly dismiss test screening leaks when some say it was good, some say it was bad. And actually, you really shouldn't dismiss any of that. And the reason why, just go watch a movie with your mates, You go watch any film with any of your friends, a group of you, not all of you are going to like that film. And that's the point. These test screenings, they are subjective, right? Like, film is subjective. So some people will love it, some people will hate it, some people will leak it because they absolutely loved it, some people will leak it because they absolutely hated it. And that's just part of it. But to instantly discount it because there's conflicting reports, no, don't do that. Don't do that at all. But it says here, we have a few more details. Semi-reliable sources, of course, just take it with a pinch of salt. So there's a popular Portuguese fan site, DC Depressão. I don't know what that is. I don't speak Espanol or Portuguese, so soz. But basically, Nicholas Hoult is apparently a great Lex Luthor. And that's something which has been stated multiple times from multiple leaks. And you know what? It's something I can believe. Nicholas Hoult is a great actor. He's really come into his own as a brilliant actor lately. I say lately. It's been a steady creep up, hasn't it? But he's a bloody good actor. So people saying, yeah, he's great as Lex Luthor, I can believe that. Now, apparently, the VFX and CGI are much better than what they were in the first trailer. They are much, much better. So that's good. That's very, very good. Because it wasn't great. It wasn't dog shit, but it wasn't great. So the fact that they've improved that, that's good. They have time, so they should. And they should also, DC should also be learning from the criticisms that Marvel get. And Marvel obviously gets hammered for their visual effects work. So if DC can improve upon that and, come out on top in terms of a direct comparison, good. You should be doing that. You can learn from all of the mistakes that Marvel has and come out better. If you were smart anyway. So, it says here there are some surprise villains. Now, the surprise villains they won't be a major surprise, but the one which I'll say is apparently Nicholas Hoult he's cloned Superman and created Ultraman. Now, that you see him in the trailer, so it's not really a massive big deal, is it? Like, we've seen Ultraman in the trailer. He's the guy that Superman is fighting on it was a football pitch, wasn't it? But apparently what happens towards the end of the movie is that Ultraman degrades and becomes Bizarro. This is all rumour, I don't know. But he becomes Bizarro, apparently. So, take that with a pinch of salt. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Rachel Brosnahan is apparently funny and adorable as Lois Lane, and there's quite a bit of humour, as well as more emotional moments. The tone is said to be closer to the first Wonder Woman film and the first Guardians of the Galaxy. So, tonally, if you enjoyed those films, you will like this. Who knows? We will see. Apparently, David Corenswet's take on the Man of Steel is reminiscent to Brandon Routh's version, but Brandon Routh was just doing Christopher Reeve, so that's a bit of a weird thing to say, but all right. John the Shill Campier has also heard that the movie is tremendously good, and that Superman is emotional and funny, apparently with more sci-fi elements than you might expect. So that's interesting. But all of this is just opinion, again, and these movies are, movies are subjective by their very nature. And also Gunn is going back for reshoots, right? Like, that's important to note. He is going back to reshoots. Whether that's good or bad, who knows? But he did say, we've done some real screenings, definitely learning stuff all the time, definitely editing and making little changes. We might shoot a couple little tiny things. All my additional photography is so hard because it's like I used to be kind of against it. Because you don't want to have to shoot, and again, it's a pain in the arse. I really like being able to say, you know what, I wish I got that shot the first time, blah, 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 blah. But he is going back to reshoots. So, there you go. Not much else really to say. Just some interesting stuff here. Some people may have already known this, may not have already known this. Tonally, I think that's interesting. Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy. Are they just pulling these things out their arse to make people want to watch it? Who knows? Do you think this will be a big movie? I ask you. I don't know. But I'm curious. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. No matter what anyone thinks, one thing that is not subjective, it is objective, is Warner Brothers and DC need this film to be absolutely gangbusters. It needs to knock it out of the park. Because they've spent a great deal of money on it. And it is supposed to establish everything moving forwards. So, there's a lot riding on it. It's a lot riding on it. So leave your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.